This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what's making headlines in Armenia today. The prosecution at a trial in Baku has requested life sentences for 5 former senior Nagorno-Karabakh officials, including ex-president Arayik Harutyunyan, Armenia's state news agency Armen Press reported today. Prosecutors also seek life terms for former Foreign Minister David Babayan, former Defense Army Commander Levon Manatsakhanyan, former Deputy Commander David Manukyan, and former Parliamentary Speaker David Ishkhanyan. The prosecution additionally requested 20-year prison sentences for 2 other former presidents held in custody, Arkady Hugasyan and Bako Sahakyan, while the remaining 8 detainees are facing between 16 and 20 years. The charges include alleged terrorism, genocide, separatism, plunder, and a range of other crimes. These Karabakh officials were arrested by Azerbaijani law enforcement in the days following the September 2023 offensive that led to the entire population of Nagorno-Karabakh fleeing to Armenia through the Lachin corridor. Numerous international organizations have condemned or criticized the trial, including the European Parliament, the Council of Europe, Human Rights Watch, and Amnesty International. Karabakh's former cabinet leader, philanthropist, and billionaire Ruben Vardanyan is being tried separately. Azerbaijan also continues to hold several Armenian prisoners of war taken during the 2020 conflict, as well as a number of civilians who have already been sentenced to various prison terms. Armenia currently holds no Azerbaijani detainees, as the last 2 Azerbaijani citizens in Armenian custody were exchanged for 32 Armenian POWs in December 2023. Armenia will grant exclusive construction rights, valid in the southern Syunik region, to the United States for either 49 or 99 years under the agreements reached in Washington in August. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan announced today at a conference on regional cooperation. There will be investments, and the investors must have certain guarantees that they will recover those investments with a certain profit margin, Pashinyan said. If we say, for example, that we're giving it for 5 years, nobody will invest, because it is unrealistic to recover that amount in 5 years. This is a very important nuance, he said, adding that discussions are still underway. Yerevan, Baku, and Washington have agreed that the issue of Azerbaijan's connection to its Nakhichevan exclave will be resolved through the creation of a private Armenian-American company that will operate both the railway and the highway running through Armenia's southern Syunik province. The United States is expected to invest in the construction of the infrastructure. Washington will not provide military presence along the route, but the assumption in Yerevan is that American economic stakes in Syunik would serve as a deterrent against potential Azerbaijani incursions and help prevent conflicts along the future transport corridor. The agreements are still being drafted. Earlier this week, Pashinyan said that all documentation must be finalized by the end of this year, with construction expected to begin in the second half of 2026. Armenia will ban all plastic bags from supermarkets starting in January 2027, Environment Minister Harpatsum Matevosyan announced today during a government session. Matevosyan said reusable bags made of paper and cloth are expected to replace them. In addition to plastic bags, single-use plastic containers will also be banned in shops and restaurants, he noted. The government has approved the bill, which will now move to Parliament for discussion. Officials say the transition period will give retailers and consumers time to adjust to the new requirements before the ban takes full effect. Businesses violating the ban are expected to face fines of up to $400 for each occurrence. Armenia has been attempting to reduce plastic waste since 2020, when it banned thin polythene bags to limit environmental damage from single-use plastics. The new legislation aims to phase out plastic bags entirely to address the country's ecological concerns. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 70,022. That's the number of eligible voters in the city of Vaghar-Shapat, also known as Echmiadzin, and its surrounding communities, where a mayoral election will be held on Sunday, according to the Central Electoral Commission. 8 political forces are taking part in the race. This will be the largest electoral contest in the country before Armenia's June 2026 parliamentary elections. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.